Good day, everyone. I am Ingrid Duna, and my lesson for today is all about teaching profession. Before we proceed, I leave a quote that the road to success is always under construction. So, for our topic for today, for our today's topic, we have three topics. The first one is the teacher and global teacher. The second is the characteristics, trait, skills of a teacher. The third one is the functions of teachers. The teacher. The community is not complete without the teacher. Um, After all, the teacher is usually the next adult influence of students after their parents. So they said that the teacher is a second parents or a family of the students in the classroom. Through quality teachers, the Philippines can develop learners who are steeped in values, equipped with 21st century skills, and be able to propel the country development and progress. The role of the teacher in the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers, DepEd Order 42 Series of 2017. So as the teacher always has a role now to the students and and now we will learn about this role. The global teacher. Teachers are not just only teach in the classroom, but also they teach in globally. Not about the topics, they also teach history and cultures on what the cultures of each country. Teachers become the mentors of the students, not just in their areas, but also in other parts of the world. So teacher are not teach in country, but also they can teach in global. So teachers are also the mentors of the students. Not just they also teach about the history and the cultures, but also they also teach us to be a better person that help us to lead in the better future. Um, for example, the teacher also help and guide the students to know and to also have to enhance the skills. So, for example, of this one is the teacher in the South Korea, Korean people doesn't most of the Korean people doesn't even know how to speak in English. That's why there are the English teacher. There are English teachers in the South Korea who teach an English language to the Koreans. So the characteristic traits, skills of a teacher. Here are the common characteristics associated with excellent, memorable, and successful. So these are the skills of the teacher that needed to become a teacher. So when you are a teacher, you always need this all skills that you will help to be a good educator. Also to gain the respect of your students. So there are the three main classification of skills and the teachers must possess. The first one, we have the functional, adaptive, and professional. In the functional, the teacher must also functional because the planning, organizing, controlling, communicating, motivating, developing, and managing. These are the functions of the teachers that help the students to be good and to be knowledgeable when in the that helps them in the future. So the teacher must also be adaptive because when it comes in classroom, not all the students can adopt all the teacher said. For example, the creativity. The teacher must also be creative so that the students can adopt the creativity that they can make their own. So we have also the positive attitude. A teacher must also have a positive attitude because again, the students, when a teacher also have a positive attitude, it also adopted by the students. Lastly, we have the professional. So the mastery of the subject and the confidence and use of teaching strategies, transfer of learning, understanding of human behavior, and understanding the different foundations of education. So a teacher must also be a professional because the teacher must have an understanding of human behavior and understanding the different foundation of the education. The teacher must also know how what are the strategies when it comes and teaching the students and also to help the transferring of the learning. So we will proceed to the functions of teachers. So teachers not just only the second parent of the students, they also have a functions in order to students to learn. So all of us have a function in our life, but also a teacher also have a functions for the students. Um, so teachers also help students learn by imparting knowledge to them and by setting up a situation in which students can and will learn effectively. So the students and the teachers also help the students to gain to learn and also to enhance the knowledge by setting up the students. So in which learn they can and which students can learn effectively. So we have first the teacher's assigned subject. Of course, the teacher must teach the assigned subject. For example, I am an English teacher, so I should be teach my I should teach English because I am that is my assigned subject. To provide review sessions for the students. Most of the teachers always provide review sessions before they start to teach so before they start to discuss another lesson. So it also applies psychology of learning principles of teaching. It also emphasizes the understanding of concepts and facts. The teacher must always give the understanding about the facts of the lesson they also that discussed. So explains the lesson clearly. Of course, the teacher must also explain the lessons clearly to the students so that the students can easily understand about the topic that the teacher discussed. So emphasize important points so that the students can easily outline, answer students' questions correctly and professional. Of course, the students is of course the teachers should be answer the question of the student incorrectly and professionally because if a teacher didn't answer it properly or correctly, there will be no learning. The student can learn because of course the students can understand. So next we have the facilitator. The facilitator function is clearly related to John Dewey's educational philosophy, known as progressivism, in which learning happens by doing things and through the hands-on approach. So the teacher always have needs to be function that they also need the teacher will help the students to learning happens by doing things. So the first one we have the assist, implements curricular, co-curricular, and extracurricular activities of students. The teacher must also assist every student when it comes to the implements of the curricular, maybe co-curricular or extracurricular. That the activities that help the students. So it provides opportunities for students to participate. So the teacher must encourage the students to participate to the activities that are available for the students. So provides varied activities that will ensure understanding. It also the teacher must also explain what kind of activities that they that she encouraged so that it will be have an understanding. Allow students to be creative when appropriate. The teacher must also allow the students to be creative. For example, we have in high school we have Nutrition Month when creating a slogan and poster making. The teacher must encourage the students to be creative so that they can also enhance their creativity skills. So listens to students' ideas and processes these. So the teacher always should be listen to the ideas and suggestion of the teacher so that a suggestion, the teachers should always listen to the ideas or suggestions of the student and make student think and reason. Make the teacher should give a student a time to think on their own problem solving, like answering question, math solving. The teacher should be give them um, to enough time to learn on their own. So a planner, a teacher must know how to anticipate risks and must know how to avoid them. A teacher must be creative and must be able to conceptualize learning activities that can be beneficial to students. The teacher must consider the learners what is lesson and what resource available to them. So a teacher always have a backup plan. A teacher always have a planner when it comes to teachings and when it comes in teaching. So that the students can also know what is the next topic so they can be advanced so they can make an advance in studying. So first, we have prepare effective lesson plans, combines government mandated, school directed, and teacher made goals, objective, and lesson. The follow and enhances what is required in the curriculum. Consider lesson strategy and students when making instructional materials and determine how students' schemata and past experiences can help in making lessons understandable. In this part, the teacher must also prepare the lesson plan properly, and it should be combines the government mandated, the school directed, and the teacher main code objective and the lesson plan. So it also the teacher must also follows what is the required curriculum, and it also thinks the teaching strategy must consider the students when making instructional material. So determines how students schemata. So the teacher also, when discussing a lesson, the teacher also um, the teacher also can explain the past experiences that can help the students to understand easily. So in assessor, on the formal education, the assessment function is crucial in determining whether or not a student passes or fails, whether a student proceeds to the next level in the present stage. So a teacher also needs to assess the students' progress if they also have a learning when it comes in school. And if they are also if they if the teacher also needs to assess if where is the student if that really no the teacher also needs to observe the student so that she can know how what is the topic that the student hard to understand. That is for the student is hard to understand. So reports about students' pupil progress that it should be report to the parents, to the guardians or the principal or the other director of the school so that they know also the progress of the students. Fairly assess learners and removes all forms from biases. So when assessing the students or observing the students and the students' progress, it should be fair and also no biases. Values formator. The teacher is a role model for students and even parents. So of course, the teacher also have a teacher. Of course, a teacher is a role model for the students, and not just the students, but also even the parents. So a teacher must accept that there are limitations to his her actions. A document the teacher must adhere is to the Code of Ethics Professional Teachers, which was developed by the Professional Regulation Commission as an offshoot of the Public of Act 7836 or the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act 1994. So of course, as a teacher, you also have the teacher all should have a limitation to his or her actions. If it's a bad, the teacher must stop. If it's a bad way, the teacher must stop. So so first we have the implement rules and regulation. The teacher must also follow the rules and regulations, provide the guidance services to the students, and participate in social economic development projects. Record keeper. So a teacher should have a record keeper. Most important record is the grades that the learners academic records, like their grades, but also not all the students are enrolled in the numerical. There are other schools that use the like that are records that used to help the learner progress. So first, we have to keep accurate, up-to-date records of students. But it should be updated record of students. It could be every day. So regularly check attendance and provides both quantitative and qualitative records of the students. We have the material developer. So a material developer, the teacher must prepare the visual aid and other devices for instruction. If like laptop, PowerPoint, MS Word, or other visual aid that may help to teach to present to teach in teaching the students. So ensures materials that are durable and can be reused without sacrificing resources. So the other after the materials that are used in teaching, it should be kept so it can be reused on the next next school year or the next school year that without sacrificing resources. So non-teaching duties, these are the people who are like admin, those like registrar. These are the people who helps enroll, interview students, applicants, and transferees. They also monitor availability of the materials and the maintain membership and professional organization. So that's all for today. And I hope you learned something. And thank you and have a great day ahead.